Pop quiz! Pop quiz! How do you feel? You all pass. Hi everyone, I'm Professor Damrosch. High five! High five! Welcome to Professor Damrosch's online classroom. Since it's the Thanksgiving Day weekend and we've all had a little bit of enough, isn't that right, Mr. Mozart? I thought for this session of Professor Damrosch's online classroom that we'd all just relax. No doubt, most of you have been talking about me in the hallway, and I just wanted to come forward and say that all the rumors are true. I got in a fight on Wednesday. Yes, it's true, Mr. Mozart. High five! Excuse me, I just broke wind, as they would say in the Canterbury Tales. Here's what transgressed. I, Professor Damrosch, was headed towards the staff parking lot on Wednesday with my briefcase and my manila folders and my kudos, when I was stopped by a Mr. Hedge. You may know Mr. Hedge. He is the driver's ed instructor at the school. He is also the only member of the staff who got angry when the stop sign was removed from the parking lot because it is the one thing his entire curricula is based upon. He stops me and he says, "Excuse me, Professor Damrosch, I would like to have a word with you." And I said, "Of course, Mr. Hedge. What would you like me to do for you?" And he said, "Professor Damrosch, a lot of my students in the driver's ed car have been talking about very adult issues, and I have traced the source of this filthy language back to your class. And I would like you to stop discussing such mature themes in front of my students in your English classrooms." Well, I said to Mr. Hedge, "Excuse me, pal. In case you haven't noticed, one day these driver's ed students are going to grow up to be driver's ed adults. And if they don't learn how to process adult themes and how to communicate adult themes, then they will explode, possibly on the freeway, being an endangerment to us all." Well, Mr. Hedge didn't like that one bit, and he lunged towards me, said something about a mosquito, and went for my glasses. Well, you don't pull that move on somebody who's taught Henry V for 8 years in a consecutive row. So I cocked my head back, and I spat on him, releasing the dogs of war. I just managed to get a little bit of spittle on his hand. And if you mess with Professor Bevan Damrosch, you're gonna get a lot more than a little bit of spittle on your hand. So I went for his glasses then. And he says, "Professor Damrosch, please give me back my glasses. I have a driver's ed class in 20 minutes. And I said to him, "Well, you know what, Mr. Hedge? I don't think it's safe for students to get in the car with you because you're operating under the influence of bad taste." Mr. Hedge starts yelling and calling me names, and I get offended, and I take his glasses and I throw them in the river. And they hit a turtle. Eventually, the school police officer shows up, as well as half of the gym staff and the principal. So I say to everybody, just calm down. This is just a mere squabble between a driver's ed instructor and a real teacher. Then Mr. Hedge starts yelling and telling the police officer that I threw his glasses in the river. He tells me to go retrieve the glasses, and I tell him to go arrest an old lady who's smoking pot just to cure her own cancer. To make a long story short, I head back into the river to go retrieve Mr. Hedge's glasses. And as I'm ambling down there, I slip in the mud, dirtying my favorite baby blue pants. And I snatch the glasses from atop the turtle, who in turn bites me. I won't mention where, but I make my way back to Mr. Hedge, back to the police, back to the whole scene. The crowd's going crazy, cheering for me. A lot of my students are there. They can't believe their professor's a hero. And I hand the glasses back to Mr. Hedge, and I go, "Perhaps these will open your eyes." And he says to me, Thank you, Professor Damrosch. It's nice to see you do one decent thing. And I said, you know what, pal? You know what, pal? This is far from over. And I turned and I walked away.